Good afternoon, B30. This is meeting number 30, and we are moving on to Act 3, Scene 2. This is the recap, reenactment, I guess, if you want to call it. And we're on page 151 of the book. There we go. And if you don't have the book, then, of course, you are working from an audiobook, so just be sure that you are following along. And if you have to rewind and play it over again. But we are at Act 3, Scene 2. And at the beginning of the scene, Hamlet's giving last minute instructions on how to go about this play. Now, if you recall, at the end of the previous scene, where the players came in and one of the players stood up and declared confidently a portion of a play that they are going to perform that night, and he does it without fear or anything like that. He just does it, and if he makes a mistake, well, so what? He's just focusing on himself, and that's what Hamlet wants. He wants to focus on himself and not be tied down by fear or anything like that. And he even says in one of his soliloquies that the actor had more guts than Hamlet does with the planning and implementation of the plan to set his father's soul free from purgatory. So, but Hamlet needs some reassurance, and the only reassurance he has is if he can tweak the play a bit and reenact the murder of his father according to the way the ghost described it. If Claudius reacts to it, then the ghost is true. If Claudius does not react to it, then the ghost is false and it's a dream, and I'm going to just get on with my life. So yeah, the players go do whatever they need to do, and Horatio comes in, and Horatio is Hamlet's best friend, and he's probably skeptical as well of what's going on, but he knows there's some weird, especially with the apparition that he saw. So he knows that there's something tied to Hamlet's father, and he's supporting Hamlet in whatever he can, albeit he doesn't know all the information. But Hamlet asks Horatio for a favor, to watch Claudius during the play and just watch his body language, his reactions, and so on and so forth. And if he reacts negatively to the play, especially the part where the poison in the ear comes in, then we've got him. The ghost is true. I know what to do. Hey, rhymes. And if he doesn't react, then the ghost is false, and I'm just gonna. It's just a dream. There's the rub. And then I'm just gonna go back to school or something and get on with my life. So won't like the fact that Claudius is still king of Denmark, and he's married to my mother, but still, it's not much I can do about that. But I don't have to continue worrying about this whole thing. So anyways, everybody comes in, they've got the stage set and things like that, and Claudius, he says, how you feeling? How you feeling? I know you've been kind of off and things like that. And Hamlet goes, oh, I'm fine. Nothing's bothering me. And Claudius is like, I still don't trust the guy. So Polonius comes in, and they're introducing the play, and he mocks Polonius on stage. And there's a bit of foreshadowing here too at line 101 and 2. Hamlet just asked Polonius, what play did you perform when you were acting? And so Polonius says, I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed. I, the capital, Brutus killed me. So foreshadowing there, and I'm just going to leave that one there for you to figure out what's going to happen later on, because I don't want to spoil it too much. But spoiler alert. you might take a hint on what's going to happen to Polonius. Oh, I'm getting too much information. Okay. And so then the play starts, and usually back then, in those days, they had some mimes or puppets or something, just kind of like a warm-up group before the actual actors get on stage. Similar to a concert, you have your opening group that performs for a set, and then the actual band, the reason why you're going to the concert shows up and they perform. So Hamlet is very loud and obnoxious during this play. He embarrasses Ophelia even more so in front of everybody, and he talks about Ophelia's womanhood. He also talks about Gertrude and Claudius's marriage, and when you watch the film, the body language and facial expressions, it's just it's done really well in the film, and so you get a better idea of what it's like to hear this. It's like somebody talking in front of you, and they're talking about you, and they know that, and you're like trying not to squirm or show any emotion of any kind, but it's really hard to do so because they're talking about you right in front of you. And so then the fact that they got married 2 months after the death of King Hamlet, things like that, and everybody else is aware of this, and if you kind of place yourself in their shoes, the court's shoes, this whole marriage thing, the death of King Hamlet, all that kind of stuff, it's been a very uncomfortable transition to go through, and some people go through it differently than others, and it's still kind of fresh, I guess, so to speak. And Hamlet knows that, so he's playing off those feelings and concerns. So then the prologue is the introduction. Most plays, especially Shakespearean plays, they have a prologue and an epilogue. The prologue introduces what the play is going to be about, so they give you a heads up, similar to Romeo and Juliet, when we have the prologue talking about two households, okay, and that this play will take place in 2 hours. We'll find out what happens to Romeo and Juliet. So the same thing's happening here. They give you kind of a highlight of what the play is about. So the player king and player queen, they represent King Hamlet and Gertrude, and then they talk about their love and their relationship and stuff like that. And it's very awkward for Gertrude currently, because now she's the wife of Claudius. So to see her relationship that she had with her previous husband being enacted on the stage is very unnerving and uncomfortable, and because it's your personal life being projected right out on stage for the whole court to see. So, and then Hamlet's like, "Come on, get to the good part, because I want to know what Claudius's reaction will be." And so Horatio's watching this off to the side there, and all of a sudden the player king falls asleep, and Hamlet is on the edge of his seat. He's just waiting for the reaction. And then we have on page 165, Lucianus comes in, and so he pours a poison in the ear while the king is sleeping, and Hamlet's kind of narrating this thing, and all of a sudden Claudius reacts, because they see the player king reacting to the poison. And Claudius reacts as well, because he witnessed the the act, because he did the act of pouring poison in his brother's ear. And so then he calls, lights, 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 and then takes off. And of course, everyone's like, what's going on here? And Hamlet goes straight to Horatio. He says, did you catch it? Did you catch it? Did Claudius react to the play? And oh yeah, sure he did. Certainly did. So that ghost was true. So now I know what to do. Another rhyme. Okay, so this is not a dream. This is real. I know what I'm going to do next. And then Guildenstern comes in and says, your mother wants to see you right away. And so Hamlet is still ticked off at Rosencrantz and Guildenstern for spying on him earlier, and he treats Guildenstern as such, and Rosencrantz as well. And it's like, you guys are, I don't even want to talk to you, see you. Why are you still here, for that matter? You should have been long gone, but they're still there. Hopefully, they're probably hoping to build up their status in some form or another. And so then Guildenstern's trying to get Hamlet to go to see his mother, and Rosencrantz as well is trying to say, like, you are the next king of Denmark. If King Claudius falls, you are the next king. Well, technically, he should have already been king of Denmark after his dad passed away, but Claudius jumped in there and took over and took the crown away from him. And so we have he says, I'll go see my mom in a sec. So fifth soliloquy, lines 379 to 390. Hamlet is now ready to kill Claudius. He has his proof. Horatio saw it. Claudius did react to the play, and now he knows what path he has to take for the rest of this play. So, but before I can do that, I got to go talk to my mom, and I'm going to speak daggers to her. Now that's a metaphor. He's not actually going to be speaking actual daggers at his mother. He's going to be speaking or using strong words, because this is a chance to get everything off his chest and just tell his mom exactly how he feels about this whole thing, this marriage, the fact that she didn't mourn long enough, and so on and so forth. But we'll get to that in the next few scenes here. All right, so that's Act 3, Scene 2. Talk to you later. Bye.